I have a wonderful, beautiful, shining addition to my lovely collection. One that I've been after for quite a while. One that I was this I can't even do it, this far away from getting a few months ago, but it was gazumped. And now I have this, the beautiful Z561 Electrolux twin turbo electronic deluxe from, I think, from 1986. The replacement for the 560, part of the new twin turbo range as it was then, with the 561, which I think I've shown you before. It's a grey, although mine is slightly more brown than grey, but we don't worry about that. So yes, this was continuation of effectively the 500 series, because it's still got a 500 model number, but it was marketed as twin turbo in this very funky, very 80s lettering at the bottom with the Royal Warrant stamp above it. Electronic in that it has speed control, speed regulator, I don't know what you call that. On the top, it's a slightly different design. So this was like a relaunch of the series, and I happen to have a little catalogue here from, when's it dated? April 1986. So I think this would have been around the time that they launched the 600 series, because we've got a 610 on the front. So we open it up, and it's just a little explanation of how the cleaners work. So I can never get the light right in any of these rooms in this house. So just an explanation of the motor and how the airflow works, etc. And we come on to the new range, the unique 600 range. Very, very unique, that is one way of putting it. We'll come to these another time. And then the new twin turbo range. So we see this, bloody light. Here we go. 551 this side, 561 here. So I've shown you this one before. It's not in as neat a condition as the 561, but it's pretty nice. And then toolkit and explanation about the speed control, etc. Now they're a bit cheeky because they refer here about this new twin turbo range offers many new and advanced features. And I think really the only thing that this has that's different to its predecessors is it's got a light as a bag check indicator, and it's got a 3-position height control on here. Although in that picture it looks like it's 2-position. In fact, I have got a hood which I need to swap over that's 2-position. And then with this, the difference is, yes, you've got the height control, you've got a bag check indicator. Sorry, the light's terrible, isn't it? And you've also got the speed regulator, but it's a slightly different design to what came before. And a chunkier handle. Let's point that out. This was the era, or this was the time, where the handles got chunkier. So they were a lot easier to hold. But, as we say, we have height control on the base there. And this kind of, I don't know whether does it say it's like plasticky or something. It's not rubber, this furniture guard. So that's why these are blasted. It's got a few little nicks and things, but not deep scratches or gouges on it. But it's just, you know, wear and tear from being used. So yeah, we've got this plate on the front here. So underneath that, there would have been the slider for the, what do we call it? Suction control that you would have had until like 504. But underneath here, I thought it might have still had it, but it isn't. There's just 2 holes where it would have been. On the back, let's turn it around. Looks very familiar. Carry handle, cord storage hook, the exhaust, and tool port. It might be a little bit mucky because I have used this. But this whole thing went in the bath. It was all stripped. One of those brushes for doing the radiator, where you get down, they look like bull reeds, they're long. shoved that right up here to try and get as much of the carbon muck out of it, but there's probably still some there. But the benefit of it being blue, you can't see it, so it's good. Nice chunky bag door clip, different to the previous one. They were slimmer, in line with the original 500, albeit plastic. And let's get the cable off. We've still got a quick release for the cable. Cable comes out now from the lid of the back door, as do the controls. But yeah, inside you'll see that looks mucky. Hopefully you won't see that on the camera, but it's because I've used this. It's the same type of design. The seal is now in this part of the door, so you don't need the donut. So I was doing a test. I put a spare donut on here, clamped it down. Bag check indicator wouldn't work. I thought, oh, why is that not working? Dismantled all that top bit. I thought, oh, it's fine. Switched it on without the donut and it was okay. Thought, there's something going on here. Put the donut back in, didn't work. So I think it's because now the seals are at the top rather than how they used to be around here. You've still got a seal in this section here where the dirt comes up, but I think that must be why they stopped doing the donuts, which makes perfect sense. But yeah, same old bag, 2 filters below, 1 fixed, 1 changeable and washable, unless you can get hold of them. So that's that. And then if I swivel it round and perhaps tilt you slightly, can we get away with this? So that you can see, can you see that? You're getting a bit of reflection. There we go. So you can see we've got bag check indicator here. So I'll show you that when I put my hand over the hose or the hose port, block off the suction, the light comes on. On and off switch now on the bag door. And here's your slider for your speed. So you go from minimum to 200, 400 for regular carpet cleaning, and max for stub and dirt and with the tools. Now, let's swivel it back round again. If you notice in the booklet where we had the picture of this vacuum, try and get it so that there's no light on it. Can you see the on-off switch here is yellow or orange? But on mine, it's red. When this came to me, that was orange. However, when I was taking this panel out, as I managed to get it to move, the actual innards of the switch that were still attached to the wires detached themselves from this outer casing, and a load of springs and bits of plastic fell out. And needless to say, the air was blue. It wasn't just the vacuum that was blue that day, I tell you. Fortunately, very, very luckily, managed to get hold of a replacement switch. So now it's red, which is absolutely fine because it kind of ties the two in together. And I thought I'd just show you this as well. So I've got the subsequent model, which I've shown before, the 1020, which was this one's replacement. And on that, when that came, that had the orange switch. And these predominantly would have come with a red one. So I was faced with the question, do I try and put this there and that here? But I didn't want the same thing to happen again. And these are very, very difficult to get hold of. So I decided, leave it as it is. And it's a little quirk unique to my collection. Well, I say unique to mine. Other people might be in the same position. But I quite like the fact that they're both, you know, it's not, oh, they're both red or they're both orange. They've kind of swapped over. So it's, you know, it's special to mine. I'm quite happy to keep that. So let's move you out of the way. So with this one, it's all brushes underneath on the roller. I have got a set of beta bars that fit this style or this size of brush roll, but I'm keeping it as brushes for now. Flex is interesting. It's blue, so it sort of ties in with the cleaner. And we've got the little clip to secure the flex when it's wound up. Underneath, I won't show you the underneath, but it's effectively the same as all previous 500 series models. And we have a hose. And we have 2 extension tubes, butterfly tool and crevice tool. They'd gone a bit shorter by this point. I think I've mentioned this before. Sort of early 80s, they decided to reduce the length. You didn't get quite as much length by this point. I also have the instructions. So let's just show you these. So it's the usual kind of blurb on the front about, you know, how wonderful this is as a twin cleaner. Twin because it's used as an upright and also for above floor cleaning. And we've long gone now from models in their high heels doing the cleaning. It's all cartoons. So again, sorry because of the light. I don't know if this will actually pick up, but I'll twiddle you around a bit so I can show it. So it's about attaching the plug and how to hold the vacuum, height control. Then we go on to underlay furniture, the indicator and speed control. Then we've got the thing about doing the bags and the filters, clearing blockages, changing the belt. And then we flip this page over and just a little bit of blurb about the optional tools, because you didn't get them included, so they're optional. You've got the brush roll, how to change the bristles if you need to, and then just a bit about the guarantee, where to get spares and hints, do's and don'ts, that kind of thing. And I think the date on that is October 1985. So I don't know whether this came out in 85 or it was launched in 86, but all the prep had been done the year before. And one thing I didn't check in advance is what the date is on it. Oops. And again, you won't be able to see this, so I'm going to read it out. It is 720, serial number 720. So 20th week of 1987. So it's towards, I guess it's towards the end of its run, because this was replaced, I think, in 87 by the 1020. But I'm not entirely sure when, like what time of year, because I think I have a catalogue similar to this one for the following year, and it features the 1010 and the 1020, and I think that's dated May of 87. So considering this was new, and then a year later they're like, oh look, we've got some more new ones. Bit strange, so I don't quite know. Anybody has information around that, dates of release of things. Some of the 70s stuff, it looked like they were releasing them quite late in the year. I know with the 96 and 303, the cylinders, they seem to have come out towards the end of 79, but I think the 312 was earlier in the year. But with uprights, I'm not entirely sure. So any help to fill in the gaps would be wonderful. Because this is the exciting thing about this hobby and this interest, is there's always something new to learn. You see a different variation of something. You see dates of when you thought something was available actually turn out not to be true, and they either went on for longer or didn't go on as long as you thought. So let me stop talking. Let me plug this in and I'll show you the light and the speed control, and then I'll just give it a quick whiz round. So 2 seconds. Right, nice and quick, that's plugged in. So unlike previous 500s where they had some kind of light notification, it used to be more when the switch was on the handle, the light would come on when electricity was running to the cleaner. With this one, that doesn't happen. The light comes on when the cleaner's on. So if I turn this on now, there you go, the light's on. Oops, a bit squeaky. The motor and everything has been greased, lubed, serviced, cleaned up, etc. You name it. Everything that needed to have been done has been done. But I guess through age they do sound a bit squeaky at times. Let's put the hose in and we'll see the light come on, because I'll block the end of the hose off. So, start off on minimum. 200, 400, max. Watch the light. And it holds itself up as well. There we go. So it's quite powerful for 550 watt, no, 560 watt motor, I should say. The tool use is really pretty good. This, I would say, this and the 1070. Yeah, the 1070, that's the latest Turbo 2, isn't it? These two seem to be the best for tools. 1020 is quite good, but I don't know, there's something about this, for some reason, seems like a little bit more powerful. I don't know. Who knows? There's always a reason for something. It's just finding out what it is. So, that's enough waffle. That's a little walk round of this machine. I'll just do a few shots of it in use with the tools and whatnot. And yeah, I'm going to have many happy hours cleaning my home with this one. It's a really, really like special one to tick off the list. And I have to say thank you to Philip, who sold it to me, because it's made my year. Well, this part of the year anyway. There we go, a little squeaky brush roll, but nothing to really panic about, I would say. So that's our 561 Electrolux twin turbo electronic deluxe from 1987. So we've discovered. I hope you enjoyed that, and there will be some of the similar models, not similar models, what am I saying? Similar uprights from around this time that I'll be showing you. I've managed to get hold of another couple of specials. So the 500 series specials, effectively. I could do with some help with working out where they were sold, because there's been no information come with it. And when you search online, you can't always find anything. So they will be coming soon in the next couple of weeks. I'll be doing a 600 series video. I've got a few more cylinders, slimlines, 2000 series. So we'll go through all that and just see the ever expanding collection. It can't expand much further, put it that way, because I'm running out of space. You might be able to see there's quite a lot going on in this room and I need to sort it out. But for now, I'm just going to enjoy my lovely twin turbo 561.